Hi everybody. Today I want to do a little video about no-till gardening and garden prep in the spring. So we're talking about plants and growing all these plants, but you also have to get your garden beds ready. And it's the beginning of April here, so I'm still about a few weeks out from actually putting a lot of stuff in, but I will show you my garden beds. So I make my garden beds in cinder blocks, and really the most important thing about your garden is your soil. So you have to feed your soil. I don't use any pesticides. I don't even really use any liquid nitrogen or nutrients on my beds. I feed my soil by the soil. So if you look at these gardens, you might have the instinct to chop up all that and dig deep and mix everything in. And I say no. I use a system of no-till gardening. So what is no-till gardening? No-till gardening is a wonderful system that is so easy and actually produces more food, more nutrients to your soil, and healthier soil in the long run. So instead of mixing up all this soil and killing all the root systems, mycorrhizal fungi systems that are in that soil, I'm going to leave it be. Every year I put a couple inches, or every year, every other year, a couple inches of compost, either compost that I've made or compost that I buy, on top of all the bed. I don't mix it in, I just put it there. It stratifies. And every time it rains and every time it snows, the liquid flows through that and just drives nutrients start deeper and deeper into the soil. My soil is soft. You might say, oh, this is going to be hard. Look at me. I can stick my hand right into my soil. Can you do that? I doubt it. But I can do that because my soil is soft. I don't mess with it. You'd think it was become hard if you don't mess it up. No, it's actually incredibly soft. So this soil, I don't step on it. I don't compress it. I just let nature do its course. And you might say, but I leave all this stuff. There's all this stuff growing in here. Isn't this taking the nutrients out of the soil? No, it's not. All this spring growth is like a cover crop. It's protecting my soil from being eroded by wind. It's giving something for the early bees to eat. It's providing nutrients to my soil. It's actually a nutrient builder, adding nutrients to my soil. It's the first thing that our pollinators are going to eat in the spring. I'm happy to provide it for them. And you can see all my beds. Over here, there's a big bumblebee, a big wood bee, going to town right now on that wonderful early growth, happily enjoying the garden beds. So you want to provide this for your place, and you want the soil to be soft, and you want the soil to be full of nutrient. And then when I plant my plants in here, it's going to be really, really good. And how do I get all my compost? I have a huge compost pile. Some of it is homemade from putting lawn waste and food waste on there over and over. And some of it, sometimes I will buy a truckload and bring it in and put it on top of the beds. But I do not till. And you might say, oh, you're going to have more weeds. I don't have more weeds. In fact, I have much less weeds, much, much less weeds. Because when you don't mix up the soil, all the weed seeds that are flowing around, they don't get mixed in and they don't germinate. So they just sit on top, which doesn't allow them to actually become what they want to become. So you end up with less weeds than you would. Have you ever noticed when you till a garden bed, you come back 2 weeks later, it's brimming with weeds because you have released all the seeds that were laying dormant under the soil to come and become new weed plants. So you're actually making your life easier. And you can see by not tilling, I'm going to get this. This is early dill. It's coming back from last year. By not tilling, I'm going to get all that dill. I'm going to have all the volunteers, all the things growing out of my soil because I've got healthy soil. So look up no-till gardening, do the research, totally worth it. Save your back and save your soil.